Всем привет, я Аарин, это genshinimpact, и сегодня мы продолжим задание легенд Кинича. Всем приятного просмотра! Ну, пошли поможем Понче вернуть его украденную книгу. Все-таки он так работал над ней, старался.
Hey! You thieving rat! Give me my things back!
What do you want now, you old bum? God, you're a waste of space. Prepare to get shoved butt first into a tree hollow.
Только попробуй.
Oh, what's this? Brought a little bodyguard with you, huh? All right, let's see what you've got. What's this? Eat dirt, suckers!
Какой грязный трюк. Ну, стой.
Stop, please! By all the warriors, heroes, gods, and kings, I can't run any longer. Please, I don't have your stuff anymore. Have mercy.
Oh, yeah? Well, where is it then?
I threw it away.
You threw it away?
The old bum's bag didn't have a single mora in it. Just a tatty old book, worn out pens, and some old rags. All that time lying in wait was for nothing. I was so mad I just threw all of it away.
Is that really the truth? Okay then, where did you throw it away?
The same place you found me. Look, I swear on the Pyro Archon it's the truth. May all my worldly possessions be turned to ash by turn fire if I'm lying.
Okay, that's a pretty strong oath. What do we do now? It sounds like he's telling the truth.
Давай вернемся и поищем.
Right. Let's hope nobody gets to the book before we do. We'll never get it back then.
Тем временем в скрытой пещере.
Although the Turnfire is a heroic symbol in Uittztlan, it always comes with the more ominous implication of eventual tragedy. This holds true for all bearers of this ancient name in recorded history. Each one of them died of non-natural causes, as if the specter of the Turnfire was always lurking in the background. This appears to suggest the existence of some higher power that is always watching the name-bearer, examining their actions, and eventually demanding payment in return. None can escape this payment, unless, perhaps, they could honestly swear by Turnfire to never make a single mistake in their entire life. Yuponki's Turnfire. What an incredible work on ancient name philology. I can't believe it was just lying there for me to take. Let me see, the author is Ponche. Nice. A gentleman and a scholar.
Silence, book muncher! The great Kahulahow will suffer your droning voice no longer.
Do you truly find no joy at all in perusing such rich historical records?
Joy? What joy is there in this pointless drivel?
Well, it makes a pretty shocking prediction. Every bearer of the ancient name Malipo eventually meets a grisly end. Maybe that's the price you pay for the name that means price?
What? You're saying Kinich will die a violent death? So I'll finally get to take over his body? When? When will that glorious day arrive? The great Kahulahow demands to know!
Wow, you are just irredeemable, aren't you? An agent of chaos down to the core. You make us Abyss Order folks look like saints in comparison.
Silence, maggot! To presume that anyone compares your kind with the great Kahulahow is sheer vanity. And if that day ever comes, oh, your doom will soon follow.
You don't need to lecture me about Doomsday. Here's what I know. based on countless historical texts. All civilizations will be reduced to rubble by the passage of time. From ancient kingdoms to heavenly thrones to worlds beyond, there are no exceptions. But from the ruins of every civilization, the dust will rise and never settle, thus transcending the confines of time. That dust is what we call a civilization's spirit. And you, great Kahul Ahau, are one such speck of dust from a bygone age. I've paid dearly for the chance to observe you up close. Now, let me take a good look at you. We'll see whether any memories of that age still remain inside you.
Так смело пристает к Ахаву.
We're so sorry, Mr. Ponche, but we couldn't find your manuscript anywhere.
Does that mean all of my hard work was for nothing?
You gotta stay positive, Ponche. You might have lost the book, but the brains behind it are still intact. Surely you remember the main points at least?
The whole reason I worked so hard to get it finished before the Turnfire Night is because I hoped that maybe it might help us find a way through these trying times.
Ты можешь решить проблему Горного
Not,
короля?
well, not exactly. But I thought my research might at least be a starting point.
Oh, really? So what did you find out in your research?
I think the key to all of this lies in the power of Malipo.
Ponche, you know as well as anyone that ancient names don't hold any real power. Symbolic power doesn't count.
You're right, but Malipo may be a special case. Given that it first arose in the era of the first Pyro Archon, it might contain remnants of Shibalanke's power.
Yeah, I remember that story. My grandpa told it to me when I was a little kid. Maybe you're the special case. Most kids stop believing in that stuff by your age.
I'm not talking about childhood superstitions here. There is evidence.
Like what?
Like the fact that the Mountain King is still alive. Everyone attributes that to the power of the Abyss. But there's more to it than that. The key factor is that Burkina summoned the power of Malipo at the cost of his own life. If you don't believe me, then answer me this. How many other creatures can you think of who lived longer, not shorter, after being contaminated by the Abyss?
Traveler, different situation but similar idea. Doesn't this remind you of the hilly...
So, I came to the conclusion that Malipo must refer to some mysterious ritual involving a tit-for-tat exchange. It began with the first Pyro Archon, fell with the Grand Alliance, then was buried in the Night Kingdom. And now, it awaits the call of its new bearer.
Hey. Sorry to interrupt, Ponche, but you seem to be getting a little overexcited.
I'm sorry. I was originally planning on presenting my findings to Kinich. I'd hoped he would be attending the upcoming ceremony.
Sounds to me like you dreamed up one fanciful theory to support another.
Kinich, what are you doing here?
I more or less finished what I was doing, so I came to have a quick catch-up. Now a good time?
Kinich! I'm onto something. I haven't worked out all the details, but you have to attend the Turnfire Night.
So Mr. Ponche here has done a lot of research on the history of the Turnfire, and thinks he might have found a way for you to solve the problem.
I'll be there, Ponche. Let's go.
Он так решил улизнуть? Или что это было? Давай пойдем обсудим с Киничем, почему он пришел.
Here will do.
Нашел способ вызвать разрыв?
Yeah. I'd like your help giving it a trial run tomorrow. If that works, we have our plan come Turnfire Night.
Sounds like you're not not considering Ponche's idea.
You heard him. He hasn't worked out the details yet. We need a more practical solution with concrete steps to follow.
Yet? Are you saying you think he might actually be onto something?
I think it's possible, based on something I know about the war 500 years ago. Burkina didn't fall to the abyss. He was killed by the Mountain King in an episode of madness. In his final moments, Burkina made the fateful decision to not fight back, and instead pass his blood and power on to the Mountain King. Maybe he thought the Mountain King was stronger than him, and more valuable to the tribe. Or maybe it was just out of loyalty to his friend. Either way, I can believe the Turnfire was involved. Whether you think his sacrifice triggered it, or his fate was sealed from the moment he took the Malipo name, it makes sense to me.
How can you drop these truth bombs with such a straight face?
This is what I've gleaned from my many interactions with the Mountain King. His mind is so disordered. It took some time to piece it all together. The story Elder Trinidad told you was the more palatable version of events. The truth is even darker. The Mountain King's mind isn't just disordered. He is suffering and feels great shame. I believe he wants to be put out of his misery.
What? Then what should we do? Should we grant him his wish?
Of course not. We should help him move to a new home.
Твоя цель не изменилась.
It's the only practical solution. The Mountain King is a hero to my tribe. An object of worship, even. Ending his life would be like desecrating a statue. Still, he's been the cause of multiple disasters, and we can't afford to have any more.
Ugh. Practical solutions hurt Paimon's brain. Can we follow our hearts next time?
Then let's break for the day. I've already found a suitable venue for tomorrow.
С Киничем так спокойно общаться, когда нет рядом Ахава. Встретитесь с Киничем, пошли встретимся. О, опять там. Почему я не активировала там телепорт? Наверное, забыла. Ну ладно, пойдем пройдемся. Удивительная, конечно, история. И активируем. Не в ту сторону пошла. Извиняюсь. Это Кинич.
You're here. Very punctual.
Oh, so the gruesome twosome come crawling back. Here to make amends after the gross irreverence you displayed last time? Very well. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How shall grant you the audience that you seek. Now pucker up and kiss our feet.
Kinich, didn't you say you found him a teacher? He's just as out of control as ever!
Hey! No one gets to discipline the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula-How! No one!
Как ты можешь терпеть его поведение?
Maybe because I've never had a gentle-natured companion like Paimon to compare against.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah, I see what I'm missing out on now. And it's a lot.
Kinich! We could drown this measly flying ant in one droplet of spit! How dare you compare her to the almighty Dragon Lord Kahula-How! Oh, just wait till I possess your dead body! I will commit heinous atrocities! Tear down your legacy! Destroy your reputation! Wreak havoc on your...
Мастер игнора.
Traveler, Paimon, let's get down to business. Once we've opened the beastly rift, you're welcome to toss a how in there for a couple of days.
With pleasure. You don't need to ask twice.
I got my hands on this device in a trade. It's meant as bait, but it'll also stabilize the abyssal energy. The rift towns will tear through space to get to this. Once they're here, we take them out and claim the rift for ourselves.
Откуда ты это взял?
You'll find out soon enough. First, let's try this out. They'll tear you to pieces given half the chance, so be careful.
Хорошо. Постараюсь.
I always bounce back. Just watch me. This is just my...
Ясно. Самое время сделать пару фоточек, да? Мне показалось, что там было 150 тысяч.
Dare to mess with me? Useless.
240 тысяч.
Uh-oh. Are there even bigger ones on the way?
You see, Kinich? I'm a man of my word. In fact, I'd say I under-promised and over-delivered. Nifty little gizmo, isn't it?
I take it this is your true form?
Now that our deal is complete, it's time to start the next phase of our relationship. I made a promise to the great Kahula-How, and now I'm here to seize your body for his use. Cliché, I know. The hero's trusted partner sells him out to the abyss in a shocking act of betrayal. Cue bad guy speech and drawn-out death sequence.
Huh? Angel?
Huh? Huh? What are you two doing here? Oh, Mr. Kinich, this is not what we agreed on.
Traveler, this is the gift I got you. I know you're looking for intel on the Abyss Order, so I thought he might be of use to you. But it looks like you've already met.
Мы как-то уже встречались. Я пару раз побила его.
Yikes. Frosty reception. Gotta say, I kinda pictured this moment going a little differently. Tears of joy welling up in your eyes as you say the words, "It's good to see you again, old friend."
Don't be ridiculous. Sounds like you've been reading too many romance novels.
There we have it. Change is inevitable and nothing lasts forever. What a pity. Well then, time for you to meet the new me. This time, please call me Sanka.
tricked Huni and Toba into telling you a bunch of stories.
Как тебя зовут по-настоящему?
What does it matter? A name is a superficial label. It's what's deep down inside that counts. And I've shown you the deepest parts of me.
Склонность к мазохизму.
That would explain a lot. Why else would you show up here and start acting like a wise guy? You looking for a fight?
I'll pass. I do rather like you, as I've said before. But my one quibble is that you really don't know your own strength.
Что ты здесь делаешь?
Wait. Of course. You're the one behind all the recent Abyss activity. Let Paimon guess. You've been provoking the Mountain King too.
Haven't I told you before? I'm not part of the inner circle who do our Highness's bidding. My interests are far more low stakes. I spend my time digging for truth in ancient doodads and books. You really think a benchwarmer like me is capable of more than that?
I investigated him. He's not connected to the recent events. Just happens to be in the area. So, I struck a deal with him. He helps me summon a rift. I allow him to do some historical research.
But that's all over. And now Kinich wants to hand me over to you. Well, I was hoping this would be an opportune moment to whisk away his body. That would have given me some more time to study the great Kahula How. But now I've run into you. Just my luck. Or maybe I've incited the wrath of the Turnfire. This is the price I have to pay. But I don't understand. What did I do wrong?
Ты обманул Хуни и Тобу. Ну, это кровь через вот эту свою корону проходит.
Wait, does that count? Let me think.
How? You are the worst of the worst! Colluding with the Abyss Order against Kinich? How could you betray your partner?
There is no betrayal. The almighty Dragon Lord Kahula How is a partner to no one.
Don't worry, I told him to act as bait.
Yes, and you should have picked a bigger fish. The Abyss Order? Ha! What a joke. Not even a match for our lowly servant. I put up with this toad's croaking for days, and it was all for nothing.
It looks like your disciplinary measures have been less than effective, Mr. Enjo.
What did you expect? Behavioral rehab isn't really our thing. Otherwise, we might as well change our name from the Abyss Order to the Abyss Boarding School.
The abysmal disorder would suit you better. Kinich! Dispose of him! He is of no further use to us!
Traveler?
Отпусти его. В Ордене Бездны он все равно ничего не добьется.
You see, this is why I like you. Still, you shouldn't underestimate me just because I'm a lowly clerk. I could never beat you in a straight-up fight. But when it comes to running away, I won't lose to anyone. Do me a favor and remember how fast I disappear. Maybe then you'll show me a little respect next time.
Darn! He got away again! Couldn't you have stopped him?
It's alright. He's not worth our time and energy. Besides, it seems like he's in debt to a lot of people. I'm sure they'll keep him busy.
If you say so. Still, Paimon's kinda surprised that you actually struck a deal with someone from the Abyss Order.
To borrow that guy's words, names are superficial labels. Whether you call it the Abyss Order or anything else, it's a broad generalization at best. Think of it like apples that have fallen from a tree. If you tasted each one, you'd find that they're all at different stages of ripening. Even the unripe fruit blown off its branch before it's fully grown can still be brewed into a fine wine. Everything has its use.
Huh. Well, in that specific sense, maybe Enjo's not such a bad apple. Not rotten to the core, at least.
Of course! Only the almighty Dragon Lord, Kahula How, is rotten to the core and evil beyond redemption.
Ugh. So what exactly are you anyway? You're definitely the evilest little thing Paimon's ever met.
Don't worry, he can't hurt a fly.
Потому что вы заключили договор?
You could say that.
Paimon heard that those kinds of contracts might come with a terrible cost attached. Is that true?
Such as a how watching me like a ravenous vulture?
Vulture? Vulture! Ugh, we are the Dragon Supreme! Sovereign ruler of the Nation of Flame!
Let's pick this up another time. It's getting kinda late. You should go back and get some rest. Big day ahead. Tomorrow's Turnfire night. Time to light the sacred flame and burn away the filth for a legendary 500-year-old warrior.
Oh yeah. Hearing you lay it out like that is making Paimon a little nervous. For all the work we've put in, it all comes down to tomorrow night. We have to make sure we solve this problem once and for all.
Then it can't hurt to say this one more time. Good luck to us both.
Желаю нам удачи.
See you tomorrow.
Ну хорошо, на этом мы сделаем паузу. Всем спасибо за просмотр, подписывайтесь на канал, ставьте лайк. А я с вами не прощаюсь, мы еще увидимся. Всем пока!